back to Bro after our little week hiatus due to the snow.
Worst week of my life.
Worst week of your life?
Yeah.
You are a very active person, so.
No, it's just no bro to bro. Somebody off. I didn't know what to do with my Monday.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first week we we were forced to take off. The guests we had, we couldn't get here. We couldn't get here. It was bad. It was probably the worst snowstorm.
No power.
You're from somewhere that's a bit more snowy, but living in Franklin.
No, ice though. This is the worst ice.
The ice killed.
But it's been good to be back. Mm-hmm. What did y'all do on your old snow week, Elijah?
Yeah, power was only out for me for like 24 hours, which is a big blessing. So I just hung out with Dom for a little bit. Yep. Really, it was just a great week because Mia, my wife's a teacher, and so she just had the whole week off. I mean, a lot of people had work off regardless, but she had the whole week off, and it was just a lot of fun. I think it was just really good quality time between us. I just binged The Walking Dead, hung out, watched some shows. So it was a good time. Nothing too crazy, but very relaxing, fruitful, good community time.
Let's go.
What about you, Chase?
Really nothing. I was grateful to be in an area where power was good,
yeah, dude.
Heat was good. Played in the snow for a good bit and got out later in the week and.
Did you build a snowman?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Did not build a snowman, unfortunately. Not good packing snow,
No.
you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, actually made it out to the gym a little bit.
Okay.
And, and then later in the week went over to Deer Run and stayed at one of the houses that all the interns in Lawson and then we're staying at. There's like a big just
You
jungle.
guys went to Crow's Nest, right?
Eagle's Nest.
Eagle's Nest.
Jungle of teenagers just hanging out. It was fun. It was a good time. Yeah.
You were the one without the power the longest, even though you and Elijah live 2 minutes from each other.
Did yours come on before ours?
It came out at the exact same time.
It came on.
Oh, okay. I thought you had. Long.
Jed just needs to check his sources next time.
Yeah, my
but
bad.
it's all good.
My fault. Yeah.
No, we went. Elijah, Toby, me, and I. We all just went to my parents and hung out and played with his best friend Ollie.
Yeah.
Shout out Ollie, my nephew.
It's cool.
I know you really enjoy.
That's a nephew?
Yeah, that's nephew.
I was gonna
We
guess
played
it was a dog.
some games, smart party. It was a good time. Jed, what'd you do? You did anything?
I had power the entire time. My aunt and uncle stayed with us. They just got power back yesterday. Their house was 30 degrees for all week, so they stayed with us, and that was fun.
Wow.
I still had to go to school on Thursday and Friday, that was not fun. But
You had to
in
go
person.
to it, or was it online?
I went.
You had to go?
I went on Thursday and Friday.
Wow.
But y'all are the first reoccurring guests we've had.
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
But I think Chase sat down first, so we'll give Chase the title as
That's okay.
first recurring guest.
He could absolutely have that. I'm okay with giving that one up, actually.
So before the snowstorm, y'all went on a little, not vacation, but a little trip together. How was that?
It was good. For Deer Run, shout out Deer Run.
Shout out Deer Run.
We have to go on recruiting trips because we need 125 college staff. So anybody watching this, you want to apply, hit me up. But so we just went to Liberty in Virginia, which was a lot of fun. We were there for 2 days, actually in Liberty School, just talking to students all day. When you recruit in a college campus, it's a pretty good time, I feel like, at least compared to a non-Christian based school, because anybody who wasn't interested, we're just like, thank you so much, but we're good, and just passed.
Right.
But other schools, some staff have had experiences where they go up and they are actively mad at them for trying to recruit or existing or whatever. So Liberty was a good time. All that to say, it was a good trip. Very crowded. A lot of full-time staff there, but I was blessed to hang out and have a good time.
Yeah.
Do y'all have a lot of success doing that? Going to college campuses? Is that where y'all see a lot of
So
most of the recruitment?
there's two kinds of recruiting. There's tabling, where we just call a college campus and we're like, hey, can we just stay at your school for a day and just talk to anybody passing by? And then there's actual job fairs, which I'm sure anybody in college has experienced one, where people are going in for a summer job. And sometimes there's specifically summer camp job fairs or ministry job fairs. So those are awesome because people want to talk to us. They want jobs.
That's true.
But just tabling, while has been super fruitful, and we get plenty. To answer your question, yes, I do think it is good, but it can be definitely a lot of pressure. And somebody who, you had him before, Calvin's really good at, you just have to be willing to just go out there and just know you're realistically never going to see these people again. It's not going to be embarrassing.
Right.
If you do see them again, it means it was a success and you hired them. So he just go up and he'll just dab somebody up. He'll typically compliment like their shirt or something just to get some kind of smooth conversation going, and then just kind of like talk and hang out. I do think it's fruitful, but the first few times you do it, it is so scary because you're just rejection. Yeah. For every 30 people I talk to, I'll have one productive conversation.
Right.
And
college students are not the most friendly at times.
Right, and I also understand that I can put my mindset in the fact that I probably wouldn't want to talk to us either if I didn't want a job or anything.
Right.
So I'm not necessarily mad at them. It's annoying whenever somebody gives us attitude or whatever.
Right.
But if somebody's just nah, I'm good. I will always respect that. Hey, appreciate you. Have a blessed day. Whatever.
Chase, what's it like working with Elijah every day?
It's a good time.
What's it like being under Elijah?
No.
It's a good time.
Is it a good time?
Side by side. Best buddies.
It is fun. It is fun. It's a good time. There's always jesting and joking and something goofy happening. So
What does y'all's average day look like?
average day? I mean, it's always different. Literally, I can show you my schedule every day. Tomorrow, I'm doing building grounds maintenance work, so probably cutting down trees or moving limbs from 9 to 3, and then we have Bible study. So it's total 180 every day. It's you'll do maintenance and Bible study, and then you're out. Or Tuesday it's housekeeping. And so every day at Deer Run is different. So sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sure.
Pros and cons.
Did y'all have to do a lot at work doing this?
I got the lucky shift.
Yeah, you did.
Everything was pretty much over. The first shift got hit really hard. They had more calls than Franklin did across 8 stations, and Brentwood did across their. I don't actually know.
It's kind of surprising because Fairview is a bit more south than Franklin.
It got hit the hardest probably of anything in Williamson County.
Wow.
We had, I think it was 74 calls within the first 24 hours across our 2 stations. Franklin had 70 or 68, I think, across all 8. So yeah, but when I was on shift, we spent the first day just cutting trees, I had a good time. I was playing in the snow, slipping on the ice, and cutting trees.
So, with a chainsaw in your hand.
Yeah, of course. I just got my axe and just started cutting them down, just catching trees falling on cars before they fall.
Right.
I'd be oh, I got you.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead, man.
This isn't.
Why are you laughing? I just want to ask a question. At what point in your life do you feel like you were at your lowest and furthest from God?
Whoa.
And how? And why do you think that was? What do you think in your life caused you to be that? And how do you think God saved you from that moment?
Wow.
Was it through someone else? Did he make himself apparent to you, burning bush style?
Are you trying to take this?
No, I just.
Hey, welcome to Brother Bro.
Yeah.
I just.
No, that's a good question.
This is my bro.
That is a good question. At what point were we?
Mm-hmm.
Do we think we were at?
Yeah, so you can say age, or if you have a more specific time, but maybe 16, you feel like you were just which probably for a lot of us at this point is going to be at a high school at some point in our life. But
I think, for me at least, when I was working for the sheriff's department, that was bad because, again, I dedicated so much time to getting that job. They said I'd spent about 6 months trying to get that job, and so when I finally got the job and it was nothing what I expected. Welcome back to Brother Bro Chase.
Thank you.
Where'd you go?
She need my keys.
Yeah, like I said, I think when I finally got the job and realized it was nothing like I expected. I was working night shift, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the winter.
I don't know.
Yeah, and working with people, kind of, I think a lot like some of the worst firefighting experience you've had. Some of the people that you work with could be not very great people to be around.
That's probably way worse there.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt that you're around people that because I worked in the jail, that generally hate your guts.
yeah,
and
Like inmates kind of thing?
Yeah, and they're literally trying to do whatever they can to take advantage of you, take advantage of the system. So yeah, I think that just doing that, I was just so miserable. So I think God was just the last thing I could think about at that time. Just I wanted to quit so bad. Once I did quit that, and then Dom and I started working together again, we were still working together at the farm. Again, it was still something that God started coming back in my life, but it was really not that important. But really, it was kind of like that whole period. Once I started going to Belmont, that's when I started kind of really feeling, like I said, been on that kind of path for the past 4 years of trying to live for God.
Would you say that point when that professor challenged you was like
definitely
that main pivot
Yeah,
point?
because again, I had not ever been challenged in my faith before. And I think that's something that is very important.
Did you realize during your time at this job that you were spiritually, mentally, physically, like at your worst, or do you think you realized it looking back after you left? Did you leave because you were low and you knew that, or did you just realize how low you were post job?
I didn't realize how far I was away from God at the moment. That's very retrospective, but I knew I was in a really bad situation. It was something that I kind of put all my I put all my chips in the middle of the table to go after this job. Turn down football scholarships, turn down all these different things just to pursue that. Yeah. So I knew mentally that I knew it was in a bad spot, just not spiritually where I needed to be. But like I said, that's completely looking back in retrospect. What about you, Dom?
Definitely high school. Definitely, like, looking back on it, obviously COVID was great. But it was definitely that time. Yeah. Because that was when I had my first breakup. Yeah. And then COVID happened. And then, was that pre or post Brooklyn?
That was pre.
We should invite everybody's exes.
That'd be a wild podcast.
Anyway, sorry. Keep going. Oh, I wouldn't have any guests.
Oh, because you just married
my first girlfriend. Yeah. You know me. Anyways, continue.
You can moderate the podcast.
Yeah. Well, my ex would be the love of your life. So. Yeah. I'd bring the love of his life on the podcast. Not the one he's currently married to, obviously.
Nope, that's crazy. That's all right, sorry. I did that to you. I threw you off track. Please continue.
Man. It was, I guess no.
It was that time was like
that was like right after.
Yeah, it was COVID was still ending, but it was like our junior year. COVID was like wrapping up.
Yeah, it was probably that between like that COVID period and when I met Ian.
Yeah. Because Ian just sucks. No, I'm just kidding. Ian's awesome.
Well, yeah, because I didn't. Jed was pretty much my only friend at West Harpeth. Yeah, it's all actually really. Yeah, it's actually really Jed's fault.
It's really my fault.
Jed is actually my only friend.
But yeah, because that was coming off of breakup.
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
And then Jed got his girlfriend, and that wasn't a great. That wasn't a great time for him either. Yeah. But he was out doing that, and then it was pretty much just me, and then that was pretty, COVID was pretty depressing, just being home alone all the time. All my siblings left, Andrew graduated at that point, so it was just me and my parents at home. I pretty much spent all of that time in my room, which was fun, but super depressing, because I love being around people. But
so what'd you do to get out of this dark time?
The first thing was changing the music I listened to.
That's big.
Because I would literally listen to like, I had a playlist that was sad songs to get sadder.
Yeah. So a lot of people will have those.
Yeah, I had that one to go to bed to. Yeah. I listened to that to go to bed. In my perfect little Franklin home.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I started listening to just like older classic upbeat music and worship music to go to sleep to, and that was like the first big push. And then I met Ian, and he was going through a similar thing with his best friend, and so then we kind of bonded over that, and then we had some good fellowship through that, and kind of sharpened each other through that season. And then he also reconvened with his friend, and I reconvened with my friend. So
Yeah.
it all worked out. But I would say the first thing was changing what I was like.
Feeding your mind.
Yeah, feeding my mind and like just
cool that-
listening to and watching.
It's cool that the Lord can use something so small as like
Oh yeah.
something like music.
Yeah, it was a big shift. Too.
It's a hard thing because like it's something a lot of people don't think about. That the music you listen to can really affect
Big time.
your mind.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's an under appreciated thought of Christianity. Of what about you, Chase? What is?
Yeah, I mean, really quick, just to add on, like it's cool to think that the Lord can use music, but it's also scary to think that the devil,
The
can
world
use,
can use
Yeah.
music.
the
Yeah.
devil
exactly.
can very much so use.
Oh my
music,
gosh,
you
yes.
know.
Bless you, bro. I don't know if it was a bless you or what.
I almost choked on my drink, and that noise just, I'm so sorry. I totally ruined that for you.
No, you're good. Clip it.
Oh, gosh.
So sorry. What was the initial question?
Just like, at what point do you think you were at the lowest of your life, and how do you think the Lord pulled you out of that negative mindset?
Lowest, just like furthest from the Lord.
Yeah. You can say right now. It'd be awkward, but you can say it. I don't know what it is.
Like say it right now.
Yeah, that's fine. We're not
No.
going to judge.
No. I don't know. I feel like I have a couple. Kind of what I talked about last time. I have a couple different like stories I could talk about.
Yeah.
I think probably the time where it was most self-driven
Yeah.
was like the reason I was furthest from the Lord at this particular time was because of me, and that was in my freshman year of high school, or freshman year of college, sorry. And that was just, I was just living for the world, like girls, parties, football, like just living the whole college life, you know. Why is that funny?
That's not funny. Dom looked at me weird. Please continue. No, that's not funny at all. Dom looked at me weird. Please continue.
No, that's okay.
We just know you're so handsome.
It's okay. It's not funny.
Such
No, it is funny,
Cut the
actually.
cameras.
Anyways, freshman year of college, I was hothead, like college football player, whatever. Like just thought it was cool. I wasn't cool.
I'm sure he was cool.
Of course.
So I just doing all the things that come with it. You know, party, girls, drinking, whatever, all the whole 9 yards. Just because it was that's what you did, and that's what everyone did.
Yeah.
You know, and so kind of what I talked about last time, like getting out of that, like my whole first semester was like that, and then I came back for second semester. And it was a Lutheran school, like we talked about before, like kind of debating kids. Like it seemed like, again, like I said last time, like it was either you're an athlete there at the school or you're a Lutheran pastor kid.
Right.
And like debating these kids, and I'm like, I don't even know what I believe because, you know, I'm the 10 versus 1. They're all saying that I'm wrong,
Right.
and I have no idea what to do. And so, you know, that same story. I don't even know need to go into it again. But I stayed up from like 10 p.m. all the way till my 5 a.m. workouts the next day, and I was just, you know, in the Word with computer open, notebook, like looking up like salvation, you know, baptism, and literally like every theological topic, doctrinal topic, finding it in the Scripture and saying, why do I believe this? Oh, this is why I believe this, you know, and this is more Scripture to back it up. And I'd write salvation answer, you know, this all these different answers, like this is why I believe what I believe. And that was kind of like the switch, like that was like the Romans transform,
Yeah.
the renewal of my mind. That's kind of how the Lord brought me out of that, you know. So it was 100% purely the work of the Lord. And like Pastor Johnny today talked about, you know, like striving after the Lord, like working for the Lord. And it's like this struggle. Like people say, like, oh, like what do you like? Is it workspace? Like no, it's not workspace. But Paul talks about all the time, and this is what Johnny said today about how Paul is saying, like, you know, no, beat your body, no, you know, work after it, strive, be. Like he uses these terms that are very like self-driven. Like,
Right.
you know, beat your body, strive, work towards. Like all these phrases. That means like we ourselves need to strive after this, but in the end, it's all the Lord, you know. And so that was kind of how I saw, like, you know, like I had this zeal, this intense passion that night, and I didn't sleep at all. And I was just zealous. I just wanted, I need to know answers. Now I'm passionate. I need to know. And so the Lord worked through me and just helped me find answers in Scripture and stuff like that. So long answer, but yeah. So.
I think it's really cool that the Lord used a very similar situation for both of you, where if a Christian gets pushed and questioned about his faith, a lot of times that will kind of have them back down and kind of even, worst case scenario, kind of turn them away from the Lord. Right. But the fact that when you both were at some of your lowest spiritually and you getting pushed and saying and questioned about your faith, that made you want to learn about God more and twisting it, because you said the similar thing with Belmont of hearing stuff and being that can't be right. That's I know that's not right. Yeah. And so I don't know. I just think that's cool that the Lord used pressure where could normally break somebody down. Yeah. But you guys turned into diamonds.
I don't know if you've shared this before, but maybe I was forgetful. But what was the happening at school that made you?
Yeah, it was intro.
What did they ask you?
Intro to the Old Testament, and the Old Testament is, for most Christians, a lesser point of the Bible. A lot of Christians, and obviously that's the Old Covenant and stuff like that. But it's very important. But I was definitely not as well versed as I needed to be, and especially just at the point I was in my life. Yeah. But yeah, he was I can't remember. It was an asynchronous class, so we never met in person. It was always online each week. And he was just he was a big proponent of David and what's his friend in the Bible?
Goliath.
No.
Dang it.
Dang it.
Close one. Saul's son. Right? Saul's son.
Anyways, I can't remember. But he pointed out there's multiple relationships in the Bible, between very close friends in the Bible, where he was I think this could be a homosexual relationship and stuff like that.
Interesting.
And he was no, he really doesn't. He didn't take the Bible for at its word. He thought most of it was very hypothetical and just I just don't understand how at a Christian school that you can have that kind of Bible professor. But and I guess
for a Bible class, that's great.
You're right, exactly. And I guess that was kind of I had to really. I would say that no, this is completely wrong. And he luckily, he was very receptive to my challenge. I passed the class very, very good grades, but we did have some very good conversations for a long time that whole semester of going back and forth. And I would love to talk to him today, just because it'd be what led you to think some of these things? And it's kind of weird. This semester I'm in. So you take Intro to the Old Testament your freshman year, you take Intro to the New Testament your junior or senior year. And so I'm doing that right now. And the professor is he's a licensed reverend, so that's cool, but he's very New Age Christian. So it's kind of getting to that same point of
interesting.
Some more of the child, which is good. Again, I'm always up to that. But I've also found that class to be it's hard because at Belmont you have people that believe or on a very wide spectrum of beliefs, whether that be hates God to people that, like I said, more completely believe the Word of God, the Bible is 100% true, stuff like that. So I have a hard time paying attention to that class because he teaches it in a very elementary way. Yeah. It's just kind of obviously. We spent an hour and 15 last class on talking about the Sabbath. And I'm
dude.
Anyways.
That New Age stuff is scary.
It is. It is.
Scary.
It's just they've taken, but it says this will happen in the Bible, but it's taking the Word of God and completely deceiving those people. It's a sad thing, but you're seeing it take.
That's what you were talking about, Chase, last night about the one
world religion.
Yeah, dude, that's a scary thing. It's talked about in the Bible in Revelation. It's been talked about in a lot of historical writing, even back in the 1800s. Yeah. It's a scary thing.
Very scary. Scary, but we have hope.
Yeah, we know how it ends in the end. Yeah. That was the whole thing. We see, right, even a couple weeks ago, really big world powers such as Russia, China, India, countries with the most people in it, pushing towards a one world order. Mm-hmm. But again, like I said, that's all. Yeah. And even this is a really strange thing. This just made me think of it. But you go to Whole Foods, which I rarely go to Whole Foods because it costs Yeah, dude. Paying with your hand, like your scan.
So weird.
That's
bro.
weird.
What?
Yeah, dude. You can go.
Seen that?
You can. Yeah, you go and you can like. I don't know how it works, but you can pay with your
I
hand.
think it's like Amazon or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like,
Dude.
put your hand here, it'll pay.
It talks about that in the Bible.
If that's not revelation, bro, I don't know.
Yeah,
what,
I don't know. Like I said, I hadn't been there in a long time, and I need to go get a big bag of carrots. Love carrot juice. And so carrots, dude. Yeah, like love carrot juice.
You love carrots.
Why is that? Why carrot juice?
I don't know. It just tastes good. Just like
Is there like a benefit to it? Or just
it helps improve the eyesight, but I have fairly decent eyesight as is. It tastes good. Couple carrots, one apple, very good. Anyways,
you juice it yourself?
yeah, yeah. Anyways,
Also big carrot juice guy.
Really?
I don't drink it that much. That's probably my favorite juice.
You juice carrots or no?
I don't think that's appropriate.
Carrots?
carrots.
I don't
Anyways,
think there's anything wrong with talking about carrots.
so I had not been to
I
Whole
have
Foods.
not juiced carrots before. I will try it though.
It's good.
That sounds good. I like juices.
I haven't juiced any vegetable.
We should have a juicing party.
Dude,
I'll be in on that.
maybe next time y'all both come on the podcast, we'll
If
have,
we all juice melon?
You guys obviously have juicers.
I have a juicer, yeah.
Let's go.
Anyways, I had not been to Whole Foods in quite a while, and that was freaky. I was like, that's some revelation stuff right there. Anyways,
That is low-key terrifying.
Okay, so can I ask another question, or do you have something?
I would like to have you answer that question, your own question.
Everybody knows I don't answer my own questions.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Everybody knows I've talked about my tragedies a lot. The Lord has been very kind to me today, though, and I am incredibly grateful. But I mean, obviously, hardest thing I've been through was, losing Charlie, my younger sister, and whatnot. But I think the Lord has, for every bad thing that has happened, I think the Lord.
dude, is that a yo play?
I knew there was something in there.
Oh, that's
Oh,
weird.
there's two.
Chase just pulled out yogurt from Elijah's pocket.
Yogurt.
There's a bit Elijah has
like
where
yogurt.
he loves Yoplait yogurt.
I like yogurt. I don't really see how that's appropriate. Or
No, it's a
even funny
bit
right
because he'll have them at the most rate, like for his bachelor trip or his wedding photo trip. We all went to Florida, and he had some before we left. We were at Dom's house that night before we left. He had some there, and then the most wild thing about the whole thing. Like 2 days or a day later, we were on a roller coaster at Universal and he pulls one out on the roller coaster going up the climb.
I was hungry mid roller coasting.
But the
Is
fact
there
that-
anything wrong with snacking?
The fact that there had been a yogurt in his pocket for more than close to 48 hours is
Yeah,
pretty.
it was like 2 days.
yeah, that was,
pocket yogurt.
That was pretty wild.
And
But
it was
anyways,
like probably warm.
Yeah, it was warm and delicious.
yeah. Anyways,
So yeah.
Sorry.
Anyways, I would say the Lord has been very kind, and with every bad thing that has happened in my life, the Lord has given me two. It's like cutting off a dragon and it grows two more heads.
Right.
Like for every bad situation, I have two great roads that pop up and appear in my life, and the Lord has just been so kind to me. So
after the podcast with you, people that like my family and people like that do know your story. They're like, he just has the best outlook on life that I. Because I mean, again, you've gone through more than
yeah,
most
I
people
am.
have. But the
I'm
way
very
you-
blessed. At camp, any kind of church or youth group setting, there always be high lows, or some people call it high low Buffalo.
Yeah.
I always try and change those conversations to highs and highs. Because it's like, at what point? I mean, of course, it's important to have friends who can lift you up and you can be vulnerable and talk about your low moments.
Right.
But in a huge group setting, I just feel like sometimes I just want to lift everybody up. Let's all talk about. I feel like people often forget to thank the Lord enough.
Yeah.
Prayers are request and request and request, and then normally they'll be like, "Thank you for this day, Amen." I do my best to. I've been trying this at least for the last few months. For every prayer I have, I equal that with a thing I'm thankful for.
Yeah.
So I just try and have a list of things, and I'm just like, I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for this because it's like, I don't know. I was talking to my buddy Calvin the other day, and he was like, "What's something that you're weirdly grateful for that you don't appreciate enough?" And I was saying my car because I dog on that car all the time. Any day now it's gonna explode on me, but it hasn't yet. And the Lord gifted me an opportunity to buy that car for a really great price at a really bad time for me financially. Right. So it's like I dog on this thing, but or if I'm saying I'm tired from work or whatever, I saw somebody say you're hating on something you used to pray for. You used to pray for this job opportunity, and now you're here saying, "Oh, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, oh, I can't do this anymore, this sucks." When at one time I was literally begging the Lord, hey, please give me this work opportunity. Please give me this chance to,
that's good.
Work for you.
That's a good point.
So it's just, I don't know. It's just like whenever you're feeling exhausted about something, just like, I think it's good to remember that like, this was once a request.
Yeah,
this was once a prayer that the Lord gifted you. Anyways, I was going to say.
Yeah. What's your next question?
With all of us working in some way throughout our lives with the younger generation, with youth, whether it's camp or youth group or, you lead a football team and whatnot. Now that we've talked about some low points in our life, what's some advice you could give the growing generation to be proactive in their faith to avoid these dark steps, right? So Chase could talk pretty well about college probably, while Dom might be able to talk about kind of how to avoid just being lonely and depressed and being in your own thoughts. The guy with no friends over there. No, I just like that was your point.
I think, at least for me, at coaching a football team, it's because, like I said, I'm the head coach for the JV. So JV, we have 7th through sophomores on the team. So you have a kind of like, just because, even though that's just like 4th grade, there's a very wide range of maturity level and stuff like that in that range. I tell them all the time, like, my biggest piece of advice outside of like, I mean, the goal for our organization is just growing strong men.
Right.
Today's society, weak men are just being so amplified. Being a weak man is just, it's romanticized right now.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. Yes. But, football is a fun but hard sport.
As soon as you said weak man, Dom looked at me in the eyes. So I just,
you looked at me
feeling a little attacked. Yes, please continue, because I 100% agree with what you're saying.
But yeah, it's like football. I think football is a great learning experience for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I think outside of that, like telling kids, stay away from the internet. The internet is a dangerous place, whether that be social media or stuff you find on the internet. I think it's something that probably everybody on this today can attest to that.
How would you give them advice specific on that? Because you could tell any teenager to not touch the internet.
Right.
know?
Yeah, I think we talked about this some point last season. It was during a practice, and they had one of our players we had played this team that we'd been having some back and forth with, and they posted, we beat them pretty handily, and they posted some stuff online that definitely should not have posted about winning the game, and this is not the brand that we promote.
They posted about y'all.
Our team posted about being this other team because they again,
like bragging and whatnot.
The other team that we had played against had been. They posted some pretty wild stuff. It was just a bad blood between both organizations. But at the end of the day, it was like.
I don't know why Dom's laughing. Please continue.
But yeah, I think I told the whole team this, and then pulled the couple players that had been the biggest culprits of this. But just like pride kills every man. It talks about that in the Bible, and every man that's been prideful can experience that. And so yeah, I mean that's one thing, but I think the specific thing I tell them a lot is just spend time that you might be doom scrolling or whatever, or tempted to be looking up bad things on the internet. Read the Bible, and that's a hard for teenagers. I'm sure that 99% of them do not take that advice. Yeah. But if that 1% does take that advice, that's the goal. I mean, I know as a teenager, if my coach said that, I probably would not have listened. Yeah. But there's so much wasted time, especially in our youth, of doing things that we absolutely should not have. That could have been spent time bettering ourselves in the Bible and stuff like that. But
I think it's helpful you being also closer to the age of the kids you're.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic because, as you and I know, in high school we played. Our high school football coach, our junior and my senior year, was 22 years old.
Really?
A high school football team.
Wow.
And that's how old I am now. So
And you're coaching what age?
High school, but I mean, he was the head coach of our high school team. Yeah. Luckily, I just coached the JV and then assistant on the. Luckily, our head coach of the varsity team is he's in his 60s, very wise. Gotcha. But I've learned a lot of lessons from our time with that, because most kids close stage are not going to listen to somebody like my age. So trying to approach it from more of a friend perspective rather than a mentor perspective. Because, again, I was not listening to our 22-year-old coach. No. And I know realistically none of our players are doing the same thing. So, but
to super briefly hype something up, our friend Emma, you'll know more about this than I do, but there's this cool like thing. I don't know if it's new or not. I've just recently heard of it. It's called like a brick. It's like basically, I mean, you know, like screen time on your phone where you limit your screen time and you like have 5 minutes or whatever. It's this physical thing that you place somewhere in your house.
Oh, I think I've seen.
And so you can be like, okay, I am turning off TikTok, Instagram, you know, Google or whatever for the week. And the only way to have it back on is to take your phone and like physically walk to the item and like tap it. And so I just think it's really good for Christians who are wanting to keep themselves accountable because you have to make the decision to turn your phone on. And it's not a quick just like bypass. And you have to get up, you have to walk, and you have to go through every possible step and be like, this is a good idea to get on TikTok right now. And actually, like half our Deer Run team uses it. They really hype it up.
Yeah, I saw that on Instagram the other day. Well, speaking of being on social media, but yeah, that is really cool.
Just a random little like
shout out for Amazon.
It's called Brick or something. Yeah.
Well, I think like I was like a lot older than most kids were in getting a phone, so I think that was very beneficial for
me too.
And I think
you were older when you got a phone.
Yes, when I got my first phone, and my first phone was like a flip phone. Like I had no access to the internet, and I think kids these days have phones when they're like 4 and 5 years old. It's like, that's crazy. Yeah. But I think that I wish some parents would not trust their kids that young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dom, what would you say to people without friends? You're really good at that.
I don't know, like younger kids.
Yeah,
because I don't really have a lot of. I mean, camp was my main interaction with, like pouring out. That was like my.
Yeah, but you're thinking about helping this, you know, and also you have nephews now.
Yeah.
So like, if they came to you and they were like, "Hey, Uncle Dommy, I just feel like I don't have I just feel alone." How would you be able to encourage them that like, you know, because we say all the time like the Lord is your best friend and whatnot, but how would you actually how would you tell them that, you know? How would you tell them that they always have a friend in Christ?
I don't really know.
Like, I can come back to you if you want. And go
I would just have to go off of. It's hard at a certain age, like especially using my nephews as an example, where they're at. They're still pretty young,
for sure.
But I would just have to use my own experiences. That's really the only thing I can use. I think that's the best thing I can use is my experience in my walk with Christ for that specific reason. Because literally everything I've gained, like you were saying about like dogging on things we've prayed for and whatnot, in a certain sense, like literally everything that I'm every day just thankful for and giving the Lord gratitude for it is things I've prayed for.
Yeah.
There's not a lot in my life that I have. Everything obviously is from the Lord, but like a lot of things are directly just answered prayers. My job is an answered prayer. Toby was an answered prayer.
Yeah.
That it just like, I forget where the verse is, but seek first the kingdom of God and all else will be added to you.
Yeah. It's in Matthew, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. That would be like the verse I would tell people to like just read that and sit with that. And I would tell them that. But
is Matthew your number one book of the Bible?
I think
you would
so.
direct someone?
It
I use John all the time.
Yeah, dude.
It
Which
really
is like the
depends.
default, I feel like, but
because I would do Proverbs a lot. Depending where you're at. Proverbs was the biggest one for me. Proverbs was the biggest book for me getting out of when I was getting out of that like dark time.
Proverbs is like a rap song when it hits that. It's like every bar is like
that's a good example.
And then you realize you're like
rap song.
everything there. It's saying like don't do this and do this, and you're like I'm the don't do guy.
I am the foolish
who's this
man.
wretched man?
Ooh.
It's like who's the dragon warrior? Sorry, I didn't.
No, that was
I
good.
didn't-
That
Dom
was good.
doesn't get that reference.
That was good.
I didn't mean to-
I
I'm
see Kung Fu
sorry.
Panda.
I'm sorry.
Um,
Sorry, Dom. I'm
What
sorry.
movie is that from?
Kung Fu Panda.
Which one?
What?
I'm Dragon Warrior.
He doesn't know.
I'm not on TikTok like you guys. But yeah, I think I just have to use that verse and obviously try to like clarify that it's not like if I just follow the Lord, I'm going to get millions of dollars and whatever I want. But your heart will be changed, and it's a little bit of both. It is like God wants to gift us things that we like. Like there's stuff like let's say a PlayStation. Like it's not a great thing, but it's also not a bad thing. It can be.
Yeah.
It's entirely your mentality when going into
But there are things like that God wants to just give us and give us opportunity to have stuff like that and have and enjoy things here on earth too. This is a place to be enjoyed. It's not just like, all right, let's just get to heaven and figure out a way to do that.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know how that I mean, that's the verse and like telling my story for sure. That's what I did at Deer Run. Just
Which verse? Oh, the Matthew.
Matthew,
verse? Okay.
yeah.
Do you have a favorite Proverbs too?
No, off the top of my head.
I was just wondering.
Just the book. I love that book. But yeah, because like I hate saying it, but I also love saying it. Like everything I've wanted just kind of fell in my lap.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, praise the Lord for that. It's an awesome thing to, and even when I wasn't like 100% just pursuing Him, trying the best I humanly can, but falling short all the time, and then just being reminded like before I started camp was after I was single. And I was like, you know what? That was the first time I told myself, because I've always wanted a wife and kids. That's like the one thing I've known my whole life I want. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to drop that. For the first time, I'm legitimately going to drop that idea, get rid of it, and pursue God.
Yep.
And then
You fell in love with your
one
boss.
weekend, dude, it was over. And I was like, all right, I'm going to just try to focus.
Yeah.
And
Can I touch on that really quick?
you can.
This is something we've talked about a lot, so I feel really passionate about. When you said that, like, you hate saying that everything has kind of been, you have a very blessed life. You know, the Lord has blessed you in a lot of ways, and sometimes you feel bad about saying that. This is something we've talked about a lot, like 3 years ago in 2023.
Yeah.
In the sense that, like, I love testimonies. Testimony is my favorite thing in the world. What I hear way too often, especially because we're in Franklin, we are in, like, I talked about this in the last podcast, we are in, like, Christian bubble. Yep. You know, this is, like, such an easy place to love the Lord.
Right.
And, of course, you know, separate challenges come with that. But overall, there's a very high % chance that if you ask somebody if they're a Christian, they'll at least tell you yes. It bums me out because I hear all the time people say, oh, I have a boring testimony. That's what I hear all the time. I have a boring testimony, and they don't want to share it. Or they do share it, and they'll almost like add bits and pieces that didn't really happen to make their life seem like there's more of an up and down hill. Right. So there's something they like overcame or whatever. Yeah. And that just bums me out a lot. And I've probably talked to everybody about this a little bit individually, because I just feel like you trusting the Lord throughout your life and Him blessing you and whatnot is an absolutely incredible testimony.
We're all favored by God. That's something that's built. I mean, we have been so incredibly blessed. Obviously, the biggest blessing, Jesus. But like you said, God wants to bless us. I mean, we are favored. We are highly favored.
Yeah. I think it's more like the term of like falling into my lap, like everything fell into my lap. I don't like saying that, but like I don't know how else to really express it.
Right. But I just think it's cool because there is an audience that you can reach now that I would struggle to reach.
Yeah.
Somebody could come to you and be like, you know, I have a friend who's gone through this and this and this, and I just like, I don't know how to help him because I just feel like I've lived in the same house my whole life. You know, I have both my parents or whatever. And you will be able to disciple to that kid and be like, here's how you can use your blessings and, you know, for good. Here's how you can really turn your story to Christ and say, you know, thank you to God, and how you can spin it and bless one another. I don't know. And I just like, I just love testimonies because there are people Jed will be able to reach that I will never be able to reach. Yeah. There are people that Chase will be able to impact that I will never be able to impact because his story and because of the challenges he's gone through.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I just want to touch on that really quick because that's something that you have gotten a lot better about. And so I just want to say
and it touches on that in Romans. Paul talks about like spiritual gifts and stuff and not being jealous of things other people have, because there are something like exactly like you said, God is going to give Chase a gift and you might be jealous of that, but he's going to give you a gift too.
Yeah.
And we all have our own gifts
Yeah.
that we're supposed to use. And that's what,
It's like someone's the hand and someone's the foot.
But
Yeah.
that hand can't work without the arm, you know,
Yeah.
you got to have that. So
I guess the summary on that is don't ever feel embarrassed to share your testimony.
Yeah.
No matter how crazy or quote unquote boring you think it is, because it's not boring.
Yeah.
It's,
Right.
it's a testament to how you've been faithful to the Lord and how the Lord has been there for you. But anyways, to answer, how would you talk about college life? Would you tell somebody, give advice on how you can be proactive in the kind of drinking and partying world? 'Cause that's something us three lamos. I'm just kidding. But how would you give advice on how to kind of?
My answer is almost like a universal answer to like the social media, loneliness. I mean, my answer for a lot of things is accountability.
Yeah.
Like if you have one man in our circumstance, one man or one woman if you're a girl, like that you can just say, hey, I fell short X at this time yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, I did this. I need you to pray for me. Hey, I'm being tempted right now. Can you pray for me? Like, hey, bro, like temptation is hitting right now. I need you to pray for me over the phone. Like whatever it is, like just something like that. It is like, it's like you don't want to say it, but like the old saying of like, show me your friends and I'll show you like your future almost. Like that's very true, you know, as hard as that seems and as a harsh reality that is, but like just putting people around you that love the Lord and like we talked about pride earlier, like pride is just the killer. Like sometimes those Christian people around you, like at a school or at like a far off area, like not home, wherever your location is, like it might not be like the pick of the litter, you know what I mean? Like at first you might be like, oh, he's a weird kid. Now that weird kid loves the Lord. Yeah, you need to be friends with him, you know?
Yeah.
And like that weird kid could be one of your grooms one day or whatever. Like it's like putting
You
Hey, wait, why'd you look at me?
No.
I didn't look at Elijah.
You looked exactly at the
I was looking at the couch.
Somebody mentioned having no dad, and my friend Emma stared me right down in my eyes. I was just like, anyways, I just think that's, everybody just looks at me whenever
I did not
there's an
look at
insult.
Elijah. I didn't look at
Please
But,
continue.
No, all I have to say, just like the biggest trait to look for in a friend is that they love the Lord.
Yeah.
You know, like obviously we're supposed to be friends with sinners. Like Jesus was friends with the prostitute, the tax collector, all these people. Like don't disregard those people, but people that you want like on your side, in your corner, like, you know, backing you up, helping you out, like sharpening your blade. Like the biggest thing you can look for is just someone that truly loves the Lord and truly.
And someone that'll like have the guts to call you out.
Yeah,
too.
no,
That is
dude.
huge.
100%. Not just like, oh, dude, it'll be okay. Like, you're
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
So let me ask you, do you feel confident in your faith? Do you feel confident in your faith enough today? And do you think this would be a sin or right or wrong? If like, let's say your old buddies, right, who used to drink and you used to drink with and you would party with, if they invited you to another party, do you feel like you could be beneficial to the kingdom to accept and go to that party? And would you try and be a light there? Or do you think at this point, it'd be better just to avoid that altogether and not attend? Because it is a sinful environment.
Yeah.
People will be sinning the whole time. So do you think going is a good idea to hopefully impact that?
Yeah.
Or do you think it is better to just steer clear?
Yeah, I guess it just depends because like that second semester of college, I was like, they'd be like, hey, bro, we're going to the bar, going to the party, whatever. Like, no, I got homework. I'm just sit there playing video games. I don't have homework. You know, I just don't want to go. But at the same time, though, like most, and this is like intricate details. Most of the time, it was just like we sit at a bar and like a friend was a bartender and you just give us drinks. You know, like we just hang out like 10 of us.
Right.
But we were all underage.
Right.
That's wrong. That's sinful. That's going against our higher leadership that the Lord has put in place above us. Like, you know, so like now like we're all of the age. If we just go sit at a bar and just like, you know, have a drink or something like that, like that's not inherently bad. And I would have to think more deeply about that.
Yeah.
You know, whereas like if they're like, hey, we're going to the club or the party, like I'm probably not going to go.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because if it's like 3-4 dudes, like we're just gonna go sit have a drink, like okay, I can have one drink or no drinks and just talk with them.
Yeah.
And just be a light. But it's kind of hard to be a light if it's
inherently dark.
If it's literally a dark room or like a party setting, like music, whatever. That's hard. So it just depends. Circumstance to circumstance. I probably wouldn't go to a party. Probably wouldn't go to that. But I wouldn't have a problem going with a small group.
To your point though about having a group, in the Bible, somebody's healed from their friend's faith. And that was something me and my mom were talking about the other day. That, the people around you, like you said, they're so important. The person was literally healed because of his friend's faith.
That's good.
That's cool.
It's something just so important.
I like bringing that up because I feel like another kind of bad thing that happened in my life that the Lord has now used for so much good. It's like growing up, my brother was like addicted to a bunch of different stuff and smoked and drank all the time around me, to where that experience, I saw how negative it can be and how much it can hurt someone. So the Lord has strengthened me so much in that way, to where I have never felt tempted to smoke. I have never felt tempted to drink. Yeah. Of course, I fall into a lot of other temptations and fall short. But that is just like, I feel like one gift that the Lord has really given me to like stand firm as far as those things go. Right. So I actually, I love being in environments where I know everybody's going to get high or something. Of course, I would wish nobody was smoking at all. But I often, in trying to get invited or go to situations where I know everybody's going to smoke, because I know I can stand my faith really strong there. And that's like, to me, like a million opportunities. And I get almost excited about it because of where the Lord has put me today. And I just know that like a lot of times they're not going to be 100% on their mind and a little influenced or whatever. And so like, all it takes is for one emotional moment for them to come talk and look for somebody to talk to and look for somebody who is, in a stable mind. And the Lord has been able to use me in that scenario a lot, which is awesome. But then I see also a lot of Christians going with that mindset. Yeah. And then maybe, that's where they fall short. And so
budging a little bit.
Yeah. Once again, I feel like I hype myself up there. I fall short so much in every other way. Just specifically smoking is somewhere where I feel like the Lord has really strengthened my heart.
I know like you and I have talked about this on probably the last episode. It was just you and I, but I have such one thing I'm really trying to work on is trying to hold the people around me accountable, but I just have such a hard time doing that because of it talking about how you can call it your brother, but you have a plank in your own eye. Yeah. And I have such a hard time, even because again, I was having this conversation today with my dad. Sin is sin, and we were talking. I don't remember what we were talking about, but say being homosexual, you can get sent to hell is as fast as that as gluttony. Yeah. And so, I have such a hard time.
Tom looked at me when you said gluttony. Please continue.
I did not look at you that time. I swear on that one.
Yeah, that was and when my dad said that today, I was like, wow, yeah. Because like I said, it's something that I've really struggled with, is trying to hold people accountable, or what we've talked about, doing mission trips and stuff like that. It's I feel like I struggle enough and I feel like I'm not in any place, but again, I know we're called to get over that. But I don't know. Yeah. This is a very strange rant, but who's watched All the Chosen? Has anyone watched All the Chosen?
I have not, but I want to.
I'm close. We're watching it. Me and Toby are watching it right now.
Okay, but have you seen a little bit of it? Yeah. Okay. This is a very strange rant, but I've been watching. I watched a little, the first 3 seasons last year, and then I've been watching up to season 5. This a couple weeks ago, or actually during a snowstorm. But okay, little James. Yeah. He has a limp. I have a huge issue with that in The Chosen, because it talks about in the Bible when Jesus is here, he healed everybody, and I just have a problem with that. There was an apostle. Again, it's not true, because but in the show it portrays that Jesus would not heal his own apostle. I'm sorry. I just been thinking about that. I've been thinking about that.
Yeah, I did. I don't know if we're there yet. I've seen that. I've seen farther than Toby has. Right. But I don't know if we're back to that point. But that was very weird. It was I think the point that was trying to be made was good. Right. But
I think The Chosen does that a lot, in a couple different things, where I see the point they're trying to make, and I think it's a good thing to talk about, but the way they portray it is not very accurate to Jesus' character.
Because he had a limp, and he was like frustrated at Jesus for not healing him, and Jesus said, "You have that so that you can."
Right.
Like,
it's what we were talking about. That you have.
It's a point of testifying.
Yeah.
That like even with that, there's all this good, but I feel like
again, that's just not.
I don't.
It's just not as Jesus is. Jesus in the Bible, that would not have happened, and I think the goal should be to show that as much. But anyway, sorry, that was just.
Do we know? Is that scripturally correct? Did he have a limp?
I don't think so. I haven't read any, and not in any of like the actual Bible, like the actual canon. I don't know if maybe in some of like the later written books, like the Gospel of Barnabas, or like the Gospel of Thomas. Maybe I don't know. I need to.
That's interesting. I was talking to Dom was talking to me about Chosen the other day, and he was. What was the example? You said someone was a brother or something like that.
Yeah, it was Simon the Zealot being the brother.
Of the disabled person at the well.
I was saying, just like wanting to go into the acting business and thinking of how directing goes. I'm not necessarily against directing decisions that don't necessarily go against the Bible.
Right.
Like, okay, for example, the Bible can be very confusing to read for people who have no knowledge on it and are just jumping into it. And so that being said, there are many parts of the Bible that I imagine would be like dang near impossible
to interpret
and put onto TV. So if they need some kind of segue point to make something watchable, otherwise it would just be like small crazy moment and then like blackout and then another moment, and of course a lot of the Bible is one long story, but there's just so much that is confusing to read and where it goes back and forth. And so I just like, from a directing standpoint, if they need to get to one place to another and it doesn't harm the Bible in any way, then I'm okay with adding something just to make it make sense for a viewer.
Right.
Just especially as The Chosen, because I feel like it's really, like, that's such a cool show.
Oh, absolutely.
And it has brought a lot of people to faith.
Yes, absolutely.
But like, as far as like a limp or something, that is a bigger deal to me, because if he didn't have a limp, and it says that biblically he does not, and the Lord healed him, and I'm just not super knowledgeable on that.
I really don't. I cannot think of anywhere in the New Testament where it talks about James. He's referred to James the Lesser.
Yeah.
But like, my point being, like, if there's a scene in The Chosen where they're walking somewhere to another place, and it doesn't necessarily say in the Bible, Jesus and the disciples walked, but if they need to do that to get to the next scene, then that's something I'm not necessarily upset with.
Yeah, with some creative liberties, that's completely understandable to have a functional, high quality show.
Yeah.
Right.
But like
changing scenes.
Changing some stuff, or like you said, there is some things that's like, ooh, I don't know if I would have done that. But
is there a place where it says that like he healed all his disciples, or
not necessarily all his disciples?
Yes, we have some research.
But it talks about like and it says, all the Gospels, it talks about wherever he goes, he healed all. Mm-hmm. There's not like anybody that came to him was healed.
Yeah.
And like I said, I just have a hard time.
No, that is because even the woman that was bleeding that just touched the fringe of his
was healed.
robe. She believed that would happen, and it happened.
Well, and
I don't know why little James would
be
walking with this guy, seeing him, everything Jesus is doing, and
I think
not believe that it's going to happen.
And I agree. But I think one thing that the show does really well is show how, this sounds really harsh, but how stupid some of the apostles were in that time.
For sure.
Because they were living with Jesus. They were spending almost every day with Jesus, and they still it talks about this in all the Gospels. They still did not get it sometimes.
Yeah.
And then it talks about in I think it's Luke that even John the Baptist, when he was in prison, comes and he sends his disciples to ask Jesus, "Are you really the Messiah?" Somebody that John literally was born. His only purpose in life was to prepare the way for Jesus.
Yeah.
And even in that, he had doubt. But I agree that you would think seeing all living with Jesus, seeing all these signs and miracles. But I don't know. I guess
it is an interesting thing seeing. I don't know his name, but there's I think he's a pastor that's like totally disabled, and like he's in a little wheelchair, but he's like uses that fact. That is his like main fact to be like, my life is amazing.
Yeah.
There's been times I've prayed for it, but like now I'm at the point where I'm like I'm just gonna use it. So that, and like I believe that obviously Jesus or God could do something with that, even if he was healed. But I think the fact that he's not has led him to more people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think
the fact that he can live his life the way he does, being the way he is.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's a lot of athletes with similar testimonies of like career injuries.
I think something I love about that show, which I would highly recommend it. Take it with a grain of salt because it is man-made.
Right. Yeah.
But I think it is inspired by the Holy Spirit. Is the way Jesus is portrayed, and it's a little thing, but his humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that he has like the Sons of Thunder thing, like that's shown as a joke, and I believe it was said as a joke.
Yeah.
But like, he's playful, he's fun, and that's something in us that I think is a good thing. We should be playful and fun and make jokes and tease each other a little bit, like obviously with a grain of salt, but like that's something I enjoy because
no, I think it does.
People read the Bible and it's like so serious. Like you have to be so serious.
Or just hearing God from somebody else who doesn't really know how to talk about God and just like only using the fear parts of him. Because of course, we should be God fearing.
Right.
But like, I could come to you and I could just tell you all the scary things about the Lord without
You are gonna go to hell.
Yeah, which is my least favorite thing in the world, but I don't have time to talk about that. But a lot of people do that of just like telling them they're going to hell, telling them the fears of hell instead of telling them the greatness of heaven,
Exactly.
But anyways, so I think having some lighthearted moments in the show for people who don't really know God and watching that, like it might be nice to be like, wait, this is actually like a loving, awesome like, God,
Mm-hmm. I mean, Jesus talks about it in the Bible. There's a time for love and there's a time for war. Yeah. And I think The Chosen does do a very good job of showing both of those sides of Jesus, where that humor side, and then into season 5, going into the temple and turning tables. I mean.
Have they gotten to the crucifixion yet?
They just filmed it. It'll be in season 6.
I didn't know if that was gonna happen.
Don't spoil
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my bad.
I don't know what happens yet.
He comes back.
3 days?
I got something to tell y'all. I think they just got done filming season 6, and I assume released sometime around Easter.
I'm really excited for next year.
Oh yeah,
the resurrection of Christ. There's the Passion of Christ, and now Mel Gibson's making the resurrection.
Yeah.
I think that is going to be a huge movie. It's going to be a 2-parter.
Yeah, I think the Passion of Christ is one of the most biblically God-inspired projects ever. I think there's so many. First of all, Caviezel, I can't think of his name. Yeah, Jim Caviezel. His portrayal of Jesus. Oh, someone's actually coming in the
guest for Brother Bro.
Yeah, they come to check it out.
Jesus.
Yeah, but Jim Caviezel's portrayal of Jesus is, I think, truly divine inspired.
Yeah.
During the filming, so many bad things happened to him that there's the evil one just trying to stop that production or whatever. I mean, he got struck by lightning like twice.
Yeah.
He was like on death's doorstep like multiple times.
Crazy.
I mean, that's crazy. But. No, I'm really excited for that. I'm excited to see what. I mean, it's a
big project.
It's a big project, and it's taken him when did the Passion?
I think he's been working on it.
The Passion came out in 2003, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I think it was before me.
Elijah has this thing where he cannot watch movies.
I have a rule: I don't watch movies before the year I was born.
So he was born 2004. So
I was born 2004. Passion of Christ might have to be it. I was gonna say it might have to be it. I actually haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Which I need to.
Dude.
I know. I really do need to.
It's like one of those movies.
2004 has got a lot of good movies. Shrek 1 before 04, but Shrek 2, 2005, baby. Come on. Revenge of the Sith, 05. Sorry, continue.
That is true. I think we talked about this before, but there's some movies that you watch where you can only watch it once.
Yeah.
That's one of those movies. It's hard to watch it a second. It is, and the horrible. The horrible thing to think about is it was even worse than what it's portrayed in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, we truly have no idea how brutal Jesus' death was. And then watching that movie, it is completely one of the most brutal depictions of somebody being killed in any movie I can think of. But it was worse than that.
Yeah.
And that's just wild.
I saw these 2 videos. Maybe just one. We were talking about how the crucifixion was so much different than we actually think it is. Like the crown of thorns, like it wasn't.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't a crown. It was a helmet.
Yeah, dude.
And so it was like it almost covered like part of his like eyes and mouth, and then so it was like here, and then they.
Yeah.
And then the part where it says,
is that the
like,
one that they were talking about the science of like exactly where the nails were and like what that?
Maybe. I don't know if I didn't see that part, but maybe same like same guy from different like clips of the video, whatever. But another part was like the part where it says like how you couldn't tell like who he was.
Yeah.
You couldn't see like who is that. It also meant like this is like kind of like gruesome, but like, you couldn't tell if he was a boy or girl because of how much he was beat, like his entire body.
Yeah.
You know, like imagine that, dude. Like.
Again,
just ridiculous, dude.
We truly had no idea how bad that was, and even our worst depiction of what we think it would have been like, we still don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, but no, I am very excited for that. I'm excited to see how The Chosen does it too, because obviously The Chosen is not as violent as So I'm excited to see how they do that. I think The Chosen's doing 2 more seasons. There's season 6. Season 6 and 7.
What?
Yeah, and then season 7.
I didn't know they're actually
they're
gonna do 2 more.
Yeah, season 7 will be the last season.
You gotta clip that.
That was put on Instagram for sure. But no, and I'm just excited to see that. I would love
cool.
I think Dallas Jenkins, the director, he's going to do after he gets done with that, he's going to do an Acts show, a show about the book of Acts.
Cool.
That'd be cool.
And which I mean, obviously is a
crazy book.
Yeah, a lot of things happen in Acts.
When are we getting a movie on John's dream?
Dude, come on, come on.
Dude, crazy movie.
I want to go back to something you said earlier. So you usually point kids towards John to be.
Yeah, I do actually want to do some more research into that. But I beg them and beg them and beg them to do a setup that I did that really helped me. It's just hard because I just need to remember that kids don't have patience and they don't care to read sometimes. Right. But I asked them, when I grew up, my mom like forced us to do this, and it's awesome. And I still try and do it, was read the Psalms and Proverbs correlating to the day of the month.
Okay.
Which I know I know a lot of people in my life who did that. Maybe it was like a homeschool circle thing. But yeah. But so if it's March 1st, you read Psalms and Proverbs 1. If it's March 20th, you read Psalms and Proverbs 20th.
Right.
20, whatever. And so that was really good for me, just to like that just made sense in my child brain. I was like, okay, it's the 15th. Let me read, Psalms and Proverbs. And then I tell them to read the 21 chapters. 21?
Of John?
Yeah, of John. And I tell them to read that. So I'm like, listen, if you can just lock in for 1 month, because I work in a camp, so everybody leaves, and there's the camp high people talk about. Right. So I'm like, if you can carry that with you for 21 days, just 21 days, and you can read 1 chapter of John a day, you are going to understand so much more about who Jesus is, and just like at least get a basic grasp. And I guarantee you'll want to keep reading after that.
Yeah, I think that is so true, because Matthew, Mark, and Luke are synoptic of books, so they're just kind of. So I hope there's somebody watching TV in the other room, so hopefully it's not too loud. But yeah, those 3 books are a synopsis of Jesus' time here. Well, I think John really does such a good job of showing the person Jesus was and going into a little bit more detail. Obviously, I mean, talks about John was there for more than obviously Matthew, Mark, and Luke. But I think that is a really good point. It's hard to point like somebody that never has read the Bible, be like, what book should I start in?
Right.
And obviously you should start in the Gospels, but I think John is a good one to start with, because it shows the person Jesus was.
3 weeks, 1 chapter a day.
Come on.
It's like, I tell them, like, that'll take you like 15 minutes a day, like if that. Like,
if that. Not even. If that.
Yeah. It's like, it's so simple. I was like, just read 1 chapter and pray, and then hopefully I would stay in contact with them after camp so that I could like I would see my kids all the time, whether they're returners and they'd come to camp again that summer, or I just run into them through the million guest service jobs I worked. Right. And I'm like, how many chapters have you read?
Yeah,
and they're always like sweat a little bit. They're like,
Dude, I was so upset. I was in that New Testament class. There was like the first week we had to do where we're at in our knowledge of the Bible quiz. And dude, the only question I got wrong, it was like, who wrote the most in the New Testament? It's like, duh, it's Paul.
Yeah.
It was not Paul. It was Luke.
Yeah.
Luke, because I mean, obviously
less books,
but a lot of content. I mean, Luke is a long book. But I was so upset at myself. That was
You should be.
I know. I should have beat myself up about it, but I was being very self-righteous, like, duh, I know all this stuff.
That was the get into heaven quiz, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to heaven now just because I didn't know who wrote.
I'll take it now that I know, but but I can get in now.
I was
you
like,
can't take it easy.
I'll put in a good word for you.
Maybe they'll make an exception, but no, like, it was shocking. Like, and again, Belmont just being how it is, it was shocking to see some people's answers on some of it because it was like a Kahoot, so you could see it up on the screen of some people's answers. Like, wow. Like, it was like, one of the questions like, how many books of the Bible is there? I got it.
I definitely think that is probably where I've been most prideful in my life is like youth group trivia.
Yes, dude.
And I guess because like my mom did a good job just telling me like the stories, and it didn't mean I had a relationship with God or anything, but I knew the stories. And I'm like, this idiot doesn't know.
Yeah, because someone put like 20. I was like, this idiot.
One?
Yeah, what?
The Bible is only one book. Come on.
But no,
One book?
I was like, no, hey.
That's funny.
But
For the people that don't know how many books of the Bible there are, how many are there?
there is 66. In the
Canon?
canon. Catholics.
72?
Catholics. Yeah, they have the Apocrypha, so that adds a couple with the. I can't think what books. I mean, I know the Maccabees are in there.
Enoch.
Yeah, the Book of Enoch.
That's a cool book.
It is a cool book.
Just for the people that didn't know how many.
Right. Yeah. Obviously.
Have you guys seen the movie about Noah and the flood?
Which like the.
The Russell Crowe one?
Yes.
Yes.
I saw it when it first came out. I would like to watch it.
So
again.
cool. It's like Genesis plus they add like Enoch
Yeah,
stuff.
dude. That's a wild book.
So
It's
cool.
We were talking.
You liked that movie?
Carell, like comedy.
You like that?
I think it's
Evan
crazy.
Almighty.
You like it?
I don't know. I remember it being like.
I don't remember. I saw it when it first came out.
What is this right now? I feel like watching it back, it would be a cool movie to watch.
Yeah.
But I don't know how accurate I
The
don't think it's.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They use a lot of Enoch, and I'm pretty sure they say that. Like this is a lot of Enoch, which isn't canon. So
It's so interesting because
That's
like
why.
a lot of Christians have a lot of different thoughts on the Apocrypha, and especially the Book of Enoch. We were talking to Austin, Austin,
Shout
and he just said he didn't put much value into it. But I think there is. No, I mean not to go against Austin because Austin's great, but
I personally would not go against Austin. You can go ahead.
yeah, I'm already going down. I'm just gonna keep digging my grave. But no, I think there is some, not to take it for any like spiritual scripture, but there's some really good knowledge in there, and in all the Apocrypha. Like even though just the Book of Maccabees as a historical nerd, there's a lot of good history in there.
I think it's just one of those things that's like, where are you at with your faith? Because I would like, if a person who doesn't know Jesus told me like, I'm going to read this too, I would like literally beg them not to. I'd be like, please do not read that.
And I think that's probably the point Austin was trying to make, like, because he is being a youth minister, coming from, you don't want to point people to
That's
that.
like Revelation. You don't want to immediately point anybody to Revelation and be like, just chill out.
But
with
I'd
that
rather
one.
than read Revelation than,
for
Book
sure.
of Enoch or whatever. Just because I'm like, listen, like this stuff, once you feel good, once you know, this is what God wanted.
That's
this is
very
what
good
Jesus
point.
wanted in the book of the Bible. This is what has to be here. But now just for fun to kind of like knowledge yourself a little more and whatnot. If you want to go read those, go for it. But like, this is in the Bible and this was put here for a purpose.
Yes.
And there's just a level you get to where like just the Holy Spirit will discern stuff for you.
Right.
You can kind of just read something and be like, I can get good stuff from it and know what's just good to just leave out.
Yeah.
I think one thing the Book of Enoch does really well is show like the spiritual warfare that like, and it's, I mean, the demons that came to Earth that ended up creating the Nephilim. First of all, that's wild.
Crazy.
Like that is a wild thing, but like it does such a good job of showing, even in a day like even right now, the spiritual warfare going around us is mind blowing. I think somewhere in the Old Testament, I can't think of who it is, asked to see the spiritual warfare going around, and they're shown, and they're like mind. I can't think of who it is. Yeah, I haven't. Old Testament class was freshman year, but people don't understand the spiritual warfare that is every day, every moment, fighting for.
Back to answer, not specifically for lonely, but something I would point kids to is.
I need to come back to this. Yeah. I was waiting.
Prince of Egypt. That was a huge thing for me because watching that, it's like specifically the point I always go to is the burning bush. Like the burning bush, cool story, But like the way it's portrayed in that, which it's a DreamWorks film, it's not like a biblical or like a Christian organization that made it.
Something smells good.
But that movie is so beautiful and like fun to watch.
Yeah.
That it like just kind of like for me it sparked an excitement for things. And like reading every time I read about Moses, I see parts of that which could be bad, but like it's just like the burning bush scene, especially reading that is like I have a picture to it, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
Did y'all both, or would you see David or the new movie?
I watched that. I would not point kids to David.
Yeah.
Really? Why not?
Did you see it?
I did not.
Yeah, I didn't know. That's why I was asking.
I was expecting a DreamWorks level Prince of Egypt type beat, but it was there were parts of it that were inaccurate to the Bible, and that were kind of just like.
What was the movie that Oscar Isaac directed?
Zootopia 2. No, it's not that one.
It was another biblical.
It had Jesus.
Yeah.
What was inaccurate in the David movie? If you remember.
If you asked my dad about it, he was so passionate about it. He's like, I didn't like this movie because of this. It was like one of his favorite parts of the story of David. He gets captured by the Amalekites, right? Mm-hmm. And in the movie, he gets captured by the Amalekites, and like all his people came to help him escape.
Yeah.
But I don't know the part of the story well, but my dad was like, that is not how it happened in the Bible. He did not need anyone except for God. Like God got him out of that. Yeah. And his trust in God got him out of that, just like it did Goliath.
Yep.
And that's not how it was portrayed at all.
Yeah.
I've
only seen on just like online the killing Goliath scene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That scene was actually pretty good. Yeah. I did like that scene.
Did he? I didn't see that. Did he?
The movie's rated G, right? Or PG?
Yeah. No, he had like his little sling.
Yeah.
And just flung it. And
it like stuck.
So was it?
Like just stuck there. Yeah.
So it's safe to assume there's no foreskins in the movie.
No, they don't.
I was gonna see it if there was.
They don't touch on that.
Still the crazy double down.
300 or 200.
That is.
Yeah, if somebody told me to collect 100 foreskins, I'm stopping at 100. 100 the dots. I'm going home. Woo! That was hard work. I am done. Dude, at no point am I thinking, I'm doubling down on this. You know what? Give me 100 more. At that point, why stop at 200? You know, let's get to 4 digits.
Pass it on, double it to the next person. I'm the next person.
There's no other task. You know, give me the baby cut in half, or give me some other task. I'm not trying to cut 100 foreskins.
That is one of the wildest. I remember when I was really little when I read that for the first time. I probably didn't even understand what that was. I was like, but like I had enough knowledge to know where it came from. I was like, that's kind of strange.
Yeah. Shout out.
Anyways,
I'm gonna pause it real quick and see if there's any text from my wife, and it's not. So
I wanted to say as we wrap up here, in the camera, if you look at the camera, you look a lot like Han Solo in the camera. And I knew I was gonna wait till
his ego outfit.
I knew I was gonna wait till the end of the podcast because I knew his ego is now like the size of this.
So I'm gonna preach to y'all real quick.
But no, I think we didn't have any plan coming in for today. But I think this was a very good conversation. Elijah is obviously the ultimate host for many things, and got some good questions going. But thank you all for coming on again. I'm sure y'all will be on again at some point.
Let's go.
No, I don't think Elijah's coming back.
Yeah, Chase.
That's fine.
Chase is more than welcome.
Chase is always welcome. You know, if you ever want to.
Appreciate it.
But
anything else?
Yeah, y'all got anything else to say?
Let's get lost and dies on
I
here.
had something, but I kind of forgot.
I had something too, but
If I like a minute, maybe I'll remind. But maybe I'll remember. I probably won't though. We'll see.
Well, hey, if we might make a Chase Davis social media post if you remember what you're gonna say.
That'd be good. A little spotlight.
Yeah, a little spotlight.
One little clip. Yeah. It's like a post-game interview. It's like
post-game interview.
But it's just a picture of me.
I'd be a beautiful
Send it
picture.
to me though. I'll post it.
Okay.
And
He's
keep it
not.
on my
I can do
phone.
that.
He's framing it.
That's going over his bed.
I can do that.
But thank y'all for coming on. And like I said, I'm glad to be back here. You know,
Yeah.
we were talking about it.
again.
We were talking about it yesterday. it's easy to, when you have a week off or something, it's like easy to be like, oh, well, let's just stop doing it. It's work. But, you know, we woke up and we had that conversation yesterday, but I woke up, made y'all's post for social media. I was like, I'm excited. I'm excited today.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get back the swing of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you for coming on and see y'all next week.